Hi, I'm Don, and this is The Hobbyist Geek. Welcome back, y'all. Today we got a special one. My boy, best son in the world, got me a little present. The Lego Tantive IV. Part 75376. So today, we're gonna be adding some lights to this thing. I can't wait. But of course, anytime we do a lighting build, first things first, we gotta assemble the base model. So let's get to it. Alrighty, so here we have the Lego Tantive IV fully assembled base model. And I mean, it looks good. I mean, it's okay. No Technic parts, no movement, no anything special, just your standard typical base Lego model, which honestly is a little refreshing, but refreshing and clean is not exactly what we go for here. So we've got this, our Venado LED light kit for Lego Tantive IV. Let's see what's inside, shall we? Oh, what the heck is all over my station? All right. Okay, so in this kit we get a mess of stuff. Alright, we have tweezers because I don't have enough of these, I guess. Those will probably be helpful, I am sure. And of course, no paper instructions. Fans of the channel will know I absolutely hate it when these kits do not give us a paper instruction book. I don't like strictly digital stuff. You just don't feel like you own it, you know? It's not there. All right, I don't know why these are encased in bubble wrap and nothing else is. We clearly have some nice LED bricks. We got some studs here. Lots of lights on this thing though. Holy crap, look at this. I mean, we've got at least, looks like 4 in this. We got 4 here, another 3 here, plus all of these, which I'm assuming, well, no, those are, I don't know. Those look just like studs, regular studs. Those don't look like lights, those look like studs. Not sure why. I guess we'll get into it. We've got our expansion board here. These just look like, oh no, we got our LEDs on them. We've got plenty of LEDs right here. No idea how many are in there. And over here we have another expansion board and our battery pack. So very, very nice. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead off camera. I'm gonna test these to make sure that they work, and then we'll pull up the instructions and see what comes first. Okay, I really want to say welcome back, y'all, but I know this has only been like a second for you guys. This is actually several weeks since I filmed the intro here because, sadly, Some of the LEDs in the pack did not work during the testing phase, so I had to get them replaced, but they're all in now and they seem to be functioning fine, so we can proceed with this build. And the first thing we're going to have to do is a little bit of disassembly. So we're going to come here, we're basically going to pull this thing off. Now you don't have to pull all this off, really, but you know, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. So yeah, we'll just leave it like that. What the heck? Obviously this is the bottom, this is the top. Very important that you maintain that relationship. And since this is bilaterally symmetrical, we'll say this is the right and this is the left. So the engines will be facing you with the top up so that you can understand the direction we're going for here. And now we're going to take these little caps off of either end of the front. Just like that. All right, now you're going to want to pull out all of the parts from pack 1 here. That is 2 clear items and then 2 more clear but wired with LEDs. So we'll bring this in, we'll take the just the clear, no LEDs, and we'll put 1 on each side. Just like that. All right, now we're going to want to take the wired ones, the LEDs. We're going to find the end. That is this clear piece that's got the LED and the wire coming out of only one direction. And this we're going to place right here with the wire coming down. So it should look like that. We'll come around to the other side, do the same. Just like that. And this will just be hanging for the moment, and we can replace the caps. And there you go. That part is done. All right, for the next piece of disassembly, still looking at the top here, we're going to want to take these entire panels here off. So let's see, there we go. Just like that, nice and easy. There we go. Now with these off, you're going to want to pull the gun assemblies off. Just like that. We'll do it on this side as well. All right, and now we are ready to bring out the LEDs. All right, for this, we're going to be using pack 2, and that is this long string of LEDs with the little orange studs. All right, to begin, we're gonna take the rear right gun. We're gonna go ahead and place this stud. Ooh, that. Oh, maybe it should go this way. There we go. It does help if you're doing this the correct way. That pushed through a little too far though. So we want to pull this back. Maybe correct that to get the LED facing up again. There we go. So it should look like that. Then you'll move to the forward right and do the same thing. And then to the forward left. And the rear left. So you should have a chain that looks like this. Then we're going to take the right panel here, and we're basically just going to bring the cabling up right through the studs there. and get this connected as best we can. Boom. Just like that. And do the same for the next gun. And this time you'll want to bring both cables on through. There we go. So you got that. Now we'll take the left and we'll basically do the same thing, starting with the forward and then going to the rear. All right, so when all is said and done, you should have something that looks like this. And then we're going to bring this model back out again. And we're going to start by taking the right and pushing it down in place. And that's, you can take this excess, the little loop here, and just fold that down and underneath. Whoa, this just popped off. There we go. We'll just fold this down and underneath, and we will bring this in. So let me get that done. This thing is just falling apart. So it should look a little something like that when you're done. Now you're going to want to take a little bit off the center here. Just these two pieces. These two pieces here for right there, and of course the longer cover piece. And we will bring all of this over with this connecting cable going between. So this will go in like this, and then we just replace those pieces. So it looks like that. All right, now the left side is going to be the same with one little exception, and that is this little lead right here, okay? And that is going to come down and go right through the gap right down there. So let's see if we can't get that in. Should be just enough room. If you have to do a little disassembly for this, I understand. But there we go. Okay. So now that we've got that cable going through just like that, we can fit this panel back on just like we did the first one. All right, so we finally got it on. This was a pain. It kept wanting to fall off, then it would knock the bottom one off. I mean, it's just not on there very good, and these guns don't want to stay on either with the cables in there. And see, this just popped off again. So there's not much you can do. I mean, it's the amount of friction from the Legos as well as the excess width from the cabling, and the cables themselves are kind of stiff, and you just kind of got to balance it all together somehow and get it to something approximating this state. Can be done. You can, as you can see, but that is not a fun part of this build. Okay, no real disassembly needed for the next bit, but I did take all of this off of the stand. So it was like this, just pull it off. You can see it's got just these two little pieces here at the bottom to show you where to mark it. I'll show you why that's important later. And we're going to bring out pack 3 of our LEDs. Which just contains these 3 LEDs, 2 orange studs and 1 white. Now, starting with the stud that goes into this termination, okay, to the plug. Okay, we're going to want on the left side here, okay, We're just gonna plug that stud in right here. Just like that. So that these are hanging down, okay? Now you wanna bring this white stud over. We're just gonna plug that in right here, right there. And then this orange stud here will come up and just plug in right here on the side. Boom, okay? And that's where this comes into play, because that crosses this big gap here. So we're gonna wanna make sure that we push that forward and get this back in. Man, this particular piece is just full of sections that are fairly balanced on there. It's very frustrating. All right, and we've got this. Now, this is not hidden in any way, shape, or form. This little cable here coming underneath. It looks like maybe you could get it to go through here if you were to take these pieces off to hide it a little better. But it's not really necessary for what we've got going on here. I think we're okay. And we can move on to the next step. All right, the next part of disassembly is going to be pretty fun. We're going to be taking all 11 of these engines off. And you want to pull them out just like this. Now remember, these are not all the same. Like this has the little white here, this has the gray, this has the red. So if you want to make sure that you maintain them in the proper order, which I definitely recommend, make sure you set them to the side as best you can to do exactly that. So let me go ahead and get all 11 of these off, and we will go from there. All right, here we are. All of the engines are disassembled, I suppose. This is the top, middle, and bottom engines. Now we're going to want to take everything out of pack 4 here. So you should have 11 of these little LEDs on a string. You're also going to want to take all of the orange studs out of pack 5 here. So let's get those out. All right, now you should have 11 of these. These are actually really cool because we've got a little slice in them. I don't know if that's showing up on camera well, but there is a little cut so the cable can come out smooth. What you want to do is with each engine, you'll take one of these cables, make sure that the LED is facing up when you're in this configuration, and then you'll want to snap it in with one of these orange studs. So let's see if I can't do that. All right, it should look like that. The cable is coming out of one end. It's actually harder to do than it sounds. Anyway, now that we've got one done, we're gonna have to repeat the process for all 11. So let me just go ahead and get that done, and I will be right back. Alrighty, now we have all 11 of these with their LEDs and cables, and that actually was a lot of fun to do. I was liking that. Once you get in the groove, nice and easy. I'm gonna set these to the side for a second, and we bring the big boy back out. Okay, now we're gonna flip this upside down. We're gonna start with the top row, which of course is now on the bottom because it's upside down. And basically what you're gonna wanna do is just, we'll plug it in like that. And we'll do the same for all 4. Try to make sure that these cables are facing up and slightly in if you can. So it should look a bit like this when you're done. Now what you'll want to do is, we'll start here on the left. Yes, I know it's the right on camera, but it's upside down, remember? Okay, we're going to bring these back so that they go on either side of that center hole. We're going to take the engine for the center hole, we're going to push it in to hold these back, hold them in. Much like that. And we'll do the same for the other side. There we go. And we'll plug this puppy in. Just like that. And now we'll just put the lower row in as well. No need to try to trap any cables with this one. All right, now the way I've got this organized is these 5 engines are basically coming up through this lane here, these 5 for this lane, and then the center engine here will just come right down the center lane. All right, let's see what's next. Okay, for this next bit, you're going to want to take this cable and the expansion board that came out of pack 5, and we're just going to put this cable in, just like that. Now we're going to want to take these 2 center pieces here off. So it should look a bit like that when you're done. You've got these 2 extra pieces here. Now, the short version of what we're doing is taking all of these light cables that we just did. We're going to plug them into this expansion board, pull off the sticker, stick it down in here, and then cover all the cables up with these. How you organize them is up to you. I am going to take the cables from the 5 engines on this side here. That would be the right side when looking, or excuse me, the left side when looking from the top. So let's get all 5 of those. I'm going to bring them in and I'm going to basically kind of twist them together for a little extra organization. Something just popped off. Oh, look at that. That little thing here popped off. And so that means one of my light cables is loose. This popped off too, and I have absolutely no idea where that came from. Let me see if I can figure it out. Okay, y'all, I would love to have gotten what I just did on camera, but this thing did not want to agree, like at all. So I got these 5 engines, the cables coming from those 5. What I was doing was twisting them together to make it a little easier on cable management, and then I've got them all plugged in here. One thing I was not able to do was figure out where the heck this came from. I went back and reviewed the recordings, and I cannot for the life of me figure out where the heck this came from. Everything looks in place. I may check again later, but if I can't see it now, I'm not sure that it's really going to matter in the end. Anyway, so what we're going to do next is we're going to take the cable from the central engine, and that's just going to come right through here. We'll plug that in. And then we have the remaining 5 cables from these engines on this side, and we'll twist those together and get them plugged in as well. So let me go ahead and just get that done. Alrighty, look at that. Finally. Now make sure this black connecting cable is not tangled up in the rest of this mess. And what you're going to want to do is take the backing off of the board there, and we're going to want to stick it in right about, well, here, I'm going to get the tweezers out. Right in this area right here, okay? So not underneath these, you don't want to be underneath those, but just a little bit forward, right at the end of these 2 stud bricks, all the way around with this connecting cable on the left-hand side. So let me go ahead and get that in. There we go. So it looks a little something like that when you're done. Now you want to make sure this connecting cable stays out, but the rest of these, you're just going to bring on in and crunch them down however you can to get them down and out of the way. Okay. So something along the lines of this, and that is where we're going to bring these back out. We'll plug them in here, and hopefully they'll be able to hold the whole mess in place. Let's find out. Okay, should look similar to this, and we've got our little connecting cable coming out here. Wow, that was fun. Let's see what's next. Okay, next up we're going to do a little more organization over here by taking off this assembly right there. We're going to take the cable from the hammerhead here, and that's basically just going to go right through that hole, and we'll use this to hold it down nice and tight, just like that. All right, next up, you're going to want to pull out your USB connector or battery pack, either one, and the remaining little expansion board from pack 6. I'm going to plug this thing together, just like that. And now we're going to take the 4 remaining cables. So we've got our expansion cable, we've got the cable from the side lights here, the cable from the gun lights right here, and of course this cable right here from the hammerhead. We're going to plug all of them into this expansion board. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right. So it should look a little something like that when you're done. And we're going to want to take the backing off of this, and we're going to stick it right about here. So let me go ahead and get that done too. Just like that. Now I will admit I'm not particularly happy with all of these excess cables coming out and hanging down here. So I may try to tuck them in a little bit, do a little extra cable management. But there's honestly not too much you can do with the way this thing is put together. So just play around with it however you want. And at that point, once you've tidied everything up, you can just plop these right back onto the base, and you're ready to test. Look at that. That's actually pretty freaking cool. Lots of beautiful lights all over this piece. I really think it looks so much better. And look at how bright those engines are. All right, let me get the lights real quick. All right. So as you can see, we've got all of the engine lights, a little side light, the gun lights. I'm not sure how I feel about the hammerhead lights, but hey, not too bad. And there's one more light. It's coming back around again. It's on the underside. which is quite nice as well. That little underside light right there. Now, every so often you get a Lego set that is just very temperamental. It's very much, I don't want you to mess with the original design. This was one of them. I mean, things just kept popping off. Didn't want to fit appropriately once you had the lighting in. Just overall frustrating. But if you get it together, the end result looks really nice. I do like it. I do like it indeed. Even though I never did figure out where that extra piece fell off from. I still don't know where it came from. And I have searched and searched and searched. And I can't figure it out. But that's okay, because if I can't notice it now, I doubt anyone else will. So this will look nice in my display. What do you guys think? Was it worth the effort? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.